ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everything in between. Hello again. It is July 15th, 2011, and here we are again. So let's see. As always, I'm Tanya, and here we are again, ready for another wonderfully exciting video where I make a fool of myself a little bit and continue to practice my voice. So I think I'm making good progress. I'm just trying to develop the speaking voice. I actually think I'm kind of on the right track right now. I think talking that really high voice, kind of like this, very strained and very wispy and like very narrow, kind of helped me develop a control and precision over the upper ranges of my voice. So I hadn't really done any of that before, so that's helped me a bit. But I don't know, I've gotten some feedback. It's pretty good so far, and we'll see. So as always, it's one day at a time. But you know, if you watch my first video and watch now, you can see that it is possible to make progress. So don't give up. Put work into it, and that's ultimately why I'm making these videos. Just because it's like, if I'm making a daily thing, it really gives me motivation to really try and practice. Okay, so anyway, let's see. Sun Tzu, Art of War. Let's see. We are at verse 17 in chapter 5, Energy. Yes, we're talking, and remember, we're talking, just in case you're confused, of course, we're talking the energy of like movement and like truths. We're not talking like electrical or hydroelectric or nuclear. Okay, anyway, that's dumb. Anyway, okay, so I'm Tanya. I'm your hostess tonight for this parade of insanity. Or inanity, perhaps. Banality. Or over pompous vocabulary. And as always, the text is from Project Gutenberg. So, as always, take a big old drink of water, and you'll be good to go. That's a very womanly thing to do. Take a big old drink and go, boom. Yeah, not very ladylike, huh? Anyway, oh well, we'll get there. Okay, so chapter 17. No, chapter 5, verse 17. We're picking up right where we left off yesterday from Project Gutenberg, your source for all ancient out-of-copyright works. I'm going to move on to Shakespeare next. Let's see. Alright, 17. Simulated disorder postulates perfect discipline. Simulated fear postulates courage. Simulated weakness postulates strength. In order to make the translation intelligible, it is necessary to tone. It is necessary to tone down the sharply paradoxical form of the original. Cao Kun throws out a hint of the meaning in his brief note. These things, hello, sorry, I'm gonna do that, that's kind of what I use to adjust the pitch a bit. Hello. These things which all serve to destroy formation and conceal one's condition. But to Mu is the first to put it quite plainly. If you wish to feign confusion in order to lure the enemy on, you must first have perfect discipline. If you wish to display timidity in order to attract the enemy, you must first have extreme courage. If you wish to parade your weakness in order to make the enemy overconfident, you must exceed strength. 18. Hiding order beneath the cloak of disorder is simply a question of subdivision. Concealing courage under a show of timidity presupposes a fund of latent energy. Commentators strongly understand a certain Chinese word here differently than anywhere else in this chapter. Thus, Tumu says, seeing that we are favorably circumstanced and yet make no move, the enemy will believe that we are really afraid. Masking strength with weakness is to be effected by tactical dispositions. Chen Yu relates the following anecdote of Cao Tzu, the first Han emperor, wishing to crush Wishing to crush the Xiangnu, he sent out spies to report on their condition, but the Xiangnu, forewarned, carefully concealed all their able-bodied men and well-fed horses, and only allowed infirm soldiers and emaciated cattle to be seen. The result was that spies, one and all, recommended the emperor to deliver his attack. Lao Cheng alone opposed him, saying, "When two countries go to war, they are naturally inclined to make ostentatious display of their strength. Yet our spies have seen nothing but old age and infirmity. This is surely some ruse on the part of the enemy, and it would be unwise for us to attack." The emperor, however, disregarded this advice, fell into the trap, and found himself surrounded at Potang. 19. Thus, one who is skillful at keeping the enemy on move maintains deceitful appearances, according to which the enemy will act. Xiao Kung's note, make more display of weakness and want. Sun Tzu says, if our force happens to be superior to the enemy's, weakness may be stimulated in order to lure him on. But if inferior, he must be led to believe that we are strong, in order that we may keep off. In fact, all the enemy's motives shall be determined by the signs we choose to give him. Note the following anecdote of Sun Pin, a descendant of Sun Wu. In 341 BC, the Qi stayed at being at war with Wei, sent Tian Qi and Pon Pin against the general Pian Qian, who happened to be a deadly personal enemy of the latter. Sun Ping said, the Qi state has a reputation for cowardice, and therefore our adversary despises us. Let us turn this circumstance to account. Accordingly, when the army had crossed the border into Wei territory, he gave orders to show 100,000 fires on the first night, 50,000 on the next, and on the night after only 20,000. Pian Chun pursued them hotly, saying to himself, I know these men of Qi were cowards. Their numbers have already fallen away by more than half. In his retreat, Sun Ping came to a narrow defile. He calculated that his pursuers would reach after dark. Here he stripped a tree of its bark and inscribed upon it the words, "Under this tree shall Pian Chuan die." Then, as night began to fall, he placed a strong body of archers in ambush nearby, with orders to shoot directly when they saw a light. Later on, Pian Chuan arrived at the spot and noticing the tree, struck a light in order to read what was written on it. His body was immediately riddled by a volley of arrows, and his whole army thrown into confusion. The above is Sun Tzu's version of the story. The Shi Qi, less dramatically but probably with more historical truth, makes Pian Chuan cut his own throat with an exclamation of despair after the rout of his army. He sacrifices something that the enemy may snatch at it. 20. By holding out baits, he keeps his enemy on the march. Then, with a body of picked men, he lies in wait for them. With an exclamation suggested by Li Ching, that this then reads, he lies in wait with the main body of his troops. 21. The clever combatant looks to the effect of combined energy and does not require too much from individuals. Sun Tzu says, he first of all considers the power of his enemy in the bulk. Afterwards he takes an individual talent into account and uses each man according to his capabilities. He does not demand perfection from the untalented. Hence his ability to pick out the right men and utilize combined energy. 22. When he utilizes combined energy, his fighting men become as it were like unto rolling logs or stones, for it is the nature of log or stone to remain motionless on level ground and to move when on a slope, if four-cornered to come to a standstill, but if round-shaped to go rolling down. Xiao Kung calls this the use of natural or inherent power. 23. Thus, the energy developed by good fighting men is as the momentum of a round stone rolled down a mountain 1,000 feet in height. So much on the subject of energy. The chief lesson of this chapter, in Sun Tzu's opinion, is the paramount importance in war of rapid evolutions and sudden rushes. Great results, he adds, can thus be achieved with small forces. 41 years needed to 46. Okay. Alright, I think we'll cut it there. Cut it a little short tonight. We have now finished Chapter 5, and we'll get on to Chapter 6 tomorrow. So, that is the end of Chapter 5 of Sun Tzu, or Sun Tzu's 13 chapters. And there we are. So, as always, this is the voice practice for July 15th. As always, I'm Tanya. Keep practicing. You'll get there. Make some improvement. I think I've made a little bit of progress. I don't know how far I have to go, but I think I'm making a little bit of progress, but we'll see. So, as always, I'm Tanya, and this, as always, the text is from Project Gutenberg, and good night, and good luck.